Why is the job market so bad and when will it change? First, let's get into how it started. Then we'll get into where we're headed. So let's start with the hiring boom of 2021. You could practically sneeze and get a six-figure job in tech. Companies were spending money and popping bottles like crazy. So here's how the hiring boom started. There was a rapid rise in tech, specifically AI, that caused companies to start hiring like crazy. And the best part of it was these companies were getting crazy money from venture capitalists. Once they received the money, they were able to hire anybody from anywhere around the world due to the rise in remote work post-COVID. Companies were paying recruiters top commissions to hire talent, and companies were paying employees great salaries to join these innovative tech companies. I personally started a new job in 2021 because the job market was so great, but I knew the pendulum would swing the other way. So fast forward to 2023, and Indeed.com reported that job postings were down over 22%. Especially for higher level job titles. When I look at different articles from 2023, it seems like they were downplaying what was to come, but I guess they didn't have a clue just like anyone else, so how can I judge? So let's talk about which industries were affected. TechCrunch posted a comprehensive list of major tech companies that are laying off employees in 2025. Finance companies aren't exempt either. As a matter of fact, no one is, but tech stands out the most because they were the main companies that participated in the hiring boom in 2021. It's important to note that just because a company is laying off employees, that doesn't mean they're not hiring. I know that's really weird. While it's true that most companies that are going through layoffs are cutting down, some companies are reshifting their focus on what they like to call reorgs, which is short for reorganization. I personally hate that word because I feel like it's just a way to soften the blow when a layoff happens, as I've been through a layoff before. So what are some of the factors that caused this negative shift? As I said earlier, companies could have just paid me to tell them back in 2021 that the pendulum would swing the other way. In this day and age, that's just par for the course. Economic uncertainty has caused companies to slow down just about anything that costs money. There are not as many companies offering remote work. And what I find funny is I pulled a study back from 2021 talking about how productive remote work was and how companies needed to find a way to hop on the remote train. Now all of a sudden remote is bad and companies want you back in the office. I personally don't understand why remote work leaves such a bad taste in people's mouths and how we went from it worked so well to now it's the worst thing you can offer employees, but that's where we are for some strange reason. Not every company, but a lot of them. And even if I did have to go in the office, I would be happy for people to work remote because that means less traffic when I'm driving, less wait times when I'm trying to get lunch, things like that, less people in the restroom. So I know for a company I used to work at, they were stuck in a $500,000 a month lease because the previous CEO was really flashy and spent money like it was nothing. So of course they wanted everyone back in the office. They couldn't get out of that expensive lease. But the biggest factor of all that caused the negative shift in the job market is, you guessed it, AI. AI is able to complete simpler, repetitive tasks. Now AI is able to complete more complicated tasks, which isn't good for employees who aren't at least mid-level in their careers. But here's the thing, AI is not perfect, and I believe we're becoming too dependent on it. I even use it all the time, and I'd say 50% of the time when I use AI, I find that I have to do even more research than if I would have just went ahead and started from scratch and did it myself. Because the thing is, when everybody's doing it, then no one's doing it. We're going to end up back in the place where companies demand white glove customer service again and true emotional intelligence. So where are we headed? With layoffs and hiring freezes happening left and right, what now? People still need to work, right? The news isn't great, but the news is the news, and we must keep up on it so that we know exactly what to do. The first thing we want to pay attention to are actual numbers, real data. So in this AP article, you can see that so far this year, the job market has generated 85,000 open positions a month, which is down from 168,000 last year, and an average of 400,000 a month during the hiring boom between 2021 and 2023. So we're looking at some major differences. These numbers are important to keep track of because that helps you to know when the market is shifting. I posted a short on TikTok called 5 AI companies hiring right now, and that was my least viewed short out of the other ones I posted about which companies are hiring. I think in general the public just isn't receptive to AI, and that's understandable. A lot of people don't like change. I get it. But these are the companies venture capitalists are investing in. And as a result, they will be hiring for different types of roles. They already are. Now, I'm not in the business of fake positivity. I find it annoying. but I prefer to figure out where the solutions are. Now we know that AI is hurting new grads, and I talked about this in a short that I posted on TikTok called Companies Don't Want to Hire New Grads. Here are my thoughts. So new grads are either going to continue with higher education, which we know is expensive, but they don't have a whole lot of options right now, or they're going to get into the retail or the hospitality industry for a while until we see the job market shift. In the meantime, like I mentioned with AI, you have to go with the companies that are being invested in because those are the companies who are hiring and paying decent salaries. I post companies that are actively hiring for different types of jobs at different levels on a regular basis. Follow me so that you can stay in the know because you'll want to apply as soon as you see that opening.